Welcome back, guys, and this is going to be a review, actually, a review of the Breaking Bad Season 1. I know it's a very late ago season. That was in 2008. Um, the reason for me doing this, basically, is because I have a TV critic class, and I'm going to be forced to watch a lot of seasons of shows as part of my homework. So I figure, why not bring it here? Why not review some seasons of shows on my YouTube channel? And that's what we're going to do. We're going to start with Breaking Bad Season 1. Brief overview of the show. The main character, Walt, just found out he has lung cancer. He's got about 2 years left to live. And instead of leaving his family high and dry, he wants to make them money. He wants to make a lot of money to give to them, when he passes on. And the way he wants to do that is to make, like, the highest class of meth possible. He wants to make the best meth you can find anywhere. Sell that and leave that for, all his family and friends, because his wife's got a baby on the way. He has a mentally handicapped son, so he doesn't leave him high and dry. And he decides to sell drugs to leave them with some money, because his regular job as a school teacher probably doesn't cut it very well. Let's get into the show. This show is very good, very good. That's just the first thing I want to say. It's very good. There's a lot of very dark tones being presented in the show. There's a lot of deep stuff in this show. The show's very deep, and it's very raw. It's kind of brutal to watch sometimes. Some of the scenes in this are just, tough and hard to watch, and and that's good, because that's obviously what they want it to be. They want it to be raw. They want it to be, not necessarily in your face, but kind of like put you in the character's shoes, I would say, because there's a lot of different intertwining stories going on between the characters. There's a lot of character development. So it's a very character-driven story. You see Walt, trying to deal with his cancer, and how he tries to get by with that, and he tries, to be the strong man, but obviously, he's weak to this, and obviously, he's breaking down. And he's having basically a crisis in his life, and his wife Skylar is there, and she's having a crisis along with him, because he's not opening up. He's gone a lot of the times, because he's out making meth, and she doesn't know where he's at, and she's probably she probably knows that he's lying to her, but she wants to make it work out. The mentally handicapped son doesn't understand why his dad's not there. Jesse Pinkman, the other lead character basically in the story, his partner in selling the drugs. I really like his story, honestly. I think his story has had the best development, at least in season 1 so far, along with Walt. They've got the best two developing stories. You can tell he doesn't want to be a part of the drug trafficking scene, but he feels forced in because he enjoys the money, and I think he enjoys the ride of it. He enjoys I think a little bit of stress. I think he likes to live a little bit on edge, and so I think that's why he does it, and he keeps getting pulled back in. But you can tell he's trying to straighten up throughout the season, and then he eventually just kind of finally succumbs back into the darkness of dealing drugs. But I think his character is a really good portrayal of they did a really good job, in my mind, of kind of showing that struggle within, try to stop. You see him go out and try to get jobs, try to get an actual real job, and it just doesn't work for him. And then he just goes back once he finds another way to make quick cash. He goes back to making drugs again. I thought his story was really good in this first season. It's a little slow at points, but definitely in the first 4 episodes. That's one thing to say. There's only 7 episodes, because this was during the writer's strike in 2008. I don't know if I've already covered that, so it kind of just cut off halfway through the season, and they only got a 7-episode season. So the season finale doesn't really let up to anything or anything like that. Yeah, the first 4 episodes are pretty slow. It's not that it's not good, but it's not as good as the final 3 episodes were, in my opinion. I thought the final 3 episodes were very good, very well done. It's no Game of Thrones to me. Game of Thrones is probably, I think, one of the best TV shows ever, and definitely the best TV show I've seen in a long while. Definitely the show that I would say to check out right now. And I probably won't be reviewing that because I've already watched all the episodes of that. But I've heard great things about Breaking Bad. I've heard great things about the seasons coming up, so I'm actually really excited to check out more of the show. I heard the first season was actually the worst, and I would give the first season between a 7 and an 8. I really thought it was good. it did a lot of character development, which is what you should do in the first season. You got to get, people that actually care about the characters being portrayed on the screen. I think this did a good job in setting it up. Very slow burn, very, very slow burn. Getting to the parts. There's not been really anything that's been, I guess, terribly huge. It kind of seems like they went off place a little bit halfway through the season, and then they kind of brought it back. Just a couple. There's only really minor gripes on this. If you have ADD, don't watch this show because you won't be able to pay attention all the time. There's no, there's not very many explosions. I'm not saying there's no explosions. There's not very many, explosions, chasing, guns, shooting down people. There's nothing of that really in this show so far. You got to be able to sit there and pay attention and listen, and actually watch what's being presented on your screen, and I guess have a respect for a show like this, to give it time for it to play out. But like I said, good show. Like I said, between a 7 and an 8 out of 10. Really, some really good stuff in here. Only minor nitpicking, and I know it's going to get better because usually it gets better after the first season, after they've developed and built these characters. Now they can develop them even more and flesh them out some more. But that's all I got. Breaking Bad season 1. Check it out if you haven't checked it out. Comment on the comment section below. Tell me what you think about the show if you have watched it. Please, no spoiler. I want it spoiler free. I'm going to try to get through this in the next couple of weeks, hopefully. And that's all I got, guys. I'll see you later.